Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to build something together. Now, it's not made of wood or metal, but it's just as important for getting things done. We're going to assemble your essential digital toolkit.
And you should think of this as way more than just a list of software, you know? What we're really talking about is a powerful set of tools that's going to help you succeed, whether you're tackling a school project or starting a brand new job. So, you ready to get started? Let's dive in with the very first step of any project. Before you write a single word or calculate a single number, the first tool you really need is one for planning. See, every great project starts with a solid blueprint, and in the digital world, that's where project management software comes in. It helps you map everything out, right from the beginning to the very end.
So how do you even use it? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. First, you define your main goal. What is it you're trying to achieve? Then you take that big goal and you break it down into smaller, much more manageable tasks. And finally, you create milestones along the way so you can track your progress.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that idea of a milestone for a second. Think of it like a major checkpoint on a long road trip. It's not every little turn you make, but it marks the big moments, like when you finally reach a new city. In a project, hitting a milestone is that great feeling that tells you, hey, you're on the right track to your final destination.
All right, we've got our plan. Now it's time to actually start creating. And the most fundamental tool for that has got to be the word processor. It's your digital pen and paper, but honestly, it comes with some incredible superpowers.
I mean, we all know you can type and edit text, right? But the real magic is in all the features that save you so much time. A good word processor can check your spelling and grammar, it can automatically build a perfect table of contents for a long report, and it can add page numbers in a snap. It can even do this thing called mail merging for sending out personalized letters to lots of people.
Okay, mail merge might sound a little technical, but don't worry, the idea is actually super simple. It's a massive time saver when you need to send basically the same letter or email to a bunch of different people. It really just boils down to two main parts.
First, you create what's called the main document. This is your template. So imagine you're writing an invitation to a party. The main document would have all the party details, the date, the time, the location, all the stuff that's exactly the same for every single guest.
And the second step, as you can see, is to connect that template to a data source. And that's just a fancy way of saying a list of information, like a spreadsheet with all your guests' names. The mail merge then just sips through that list, pulls each name, and pops it into the invitation, creating a personalized copy for everyone. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we've covered words. Now let's switch gears and talk about the tool for numbers, the spreadsheet. If you ever need to manage a budget, track some data, or do pretty much any kind of calculation, this is going to be your go-to.
Yeah, at first glance, a spreadsheet is just a grid of columns and rows. But that simple structure is exactly what makes it so powerful. Each little box, or cell, can hold a piece of information, a number, a date, a bit of text, and that lets you organize huge amounts of data really neatly. But here's the crucial point, and it's the best part. You don't have to do the math yourself. That's the whole point. You can just tell the spreadsheet to add up a whole column of numbers, or find the average, or do way more complex things using formulas. It does all the heavy lifting for you.
And this is where it gets really cool. Once your numbers are all organized, you can turn them into visual charts and graphs with just a couple of clicks. This makes it so much easier to actually see trends, compare results, and show people what you found in a way that just makes sense.
So, what happens when you have a massive amount of information to deal with, like way more than a simple spreadsheet can handle? For that, we've got the next tool in our kit, the database. The best way to think about it is like a super smart, highly organized digital filing cabinet.
This slide right here breaks down the lingo of a database using an analogy that we can all get. The whole database, that's like your filing cabinet. Inside, you've got tables, which are like individual drawers for a specific subject, say employees. Each column is a field, a category like name or age, and each row is a record, which is like a single file on one specific employee.
Now, to keep everything organized and stop mistakes from happening, databases use these special things called keys. A primary key is a unique ID for every single record, kind of like a student ID number. No two students have the same one, right? Then, a foreign key is a field that links to the primary key in another table. This is how you connect your employees table to your departments table. It's the secret sauce that makes databases so good at managing related info.
Okay, so we've planned our project, we've written our documents, we've crunched the numbers, and we've organized our information. How do we share it all and work with other people? Well, this is where our final tool comes in to tie it all together.
The hub for pretty much all modern professional communication is, of course, email. But it's really so much more than just sending messages. It's how you share the documents you wrote, send the spreadsheets you created, and schedule the meetings to talk about the milestones in your project plan.
And this quote really gets to the heart of why we're even talking about all this. Getting a handle on these tools isn't just a technical skill. It's a huge part of being ready for the modern workplace. It just makes you more capable and prepared to take on whatever comes your way.
So let's do a quick recap of our toolkit. We've got project management software to plan our work. We've got word processors to write and share our ideas, spreadsheets to analyze data, databases to organize huge amounts of information, and finally, email to communicate and connect it all.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint for your own essential digital toolkit. These applications are the building blocks for creating, organizing, and sharing everything you do, and doing it well. So really, the only question left is, what will you build with them first?